The retreat was meant to be a moment of healing, a reset for the cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13. But what went down was far from peaceful. What began as a petty exchange between Bambi and Spice quickly escalated, setting off a chain of events no one saw coming. And in the middle of it all was Mena, unleashing a viral tirade that would change everything. It's the moment everyone's talking about, Erica's explosive outburst at Mendeecees, shouting, "I'll have you locked up." Yandy stood there, frozen, blindsided, her eyes wide with confusion and fear. You could feel the world stop in that instant. What caused Erica to snap? Was it something Mendeecees said, or had years of unresolved tension finally reached its breaking point? Fans flooded social media, torn between defending Erica and questioning Mendeecees' role behind the scenes. And there stood Yandy, helpless in the center of it all, as the world watched her marriage unravel once again. This wasn't just another petty retreat fight. This was something far more personal. The whispers of legal threats began swirling. And fans were left wondering, did Season 13 just change everything for this trio? Let's break it down. The retreat started like all the others, a typical Love and Hip Hop gathering, drinks, awkward smiles, and that unspoken tension lingering in the air. The cast had been invited for what producers dubbed a restorative retreat, but anyone who's ever watched the show knew it was only a matter of time before things blew up. This time, though, it didn't take long at all. It all kicked off with something as trivial as a back and forth between Bambi and Spice. Spice threw shade, Bambi clapped back, and before anyone realized it, the room was alive with raised voices and sharp words. Bambi stood up, drink in hand, her voice steady yet heated. "You always got something slick to say," she remarked, her tone laced with venom. Spice wasn't backing down. She brushed her braids off her shoulder, not a care in the world. "Nah, you just sensitive. Don't blame me if your truth sounds like shade." The room fell into a stunned silence. Eyes darted between the two women, their clash crackling in the air. And there, in the middle of it all, was Yandy, leaning toward Mendeecees, whispering something, trying to keep the peace. But the fuse had already been lit. What no one realized in that moment was that Erica had been simmering. She wasn't involved in the initial argument, but the tension was building in her. You could see the way her jaw clenched, the way her eyes scanned the room. She was waiting, watching. The moment Bambi brought up fake friendships, and how some people only showed up when the cameras were rolling, something inside Erica snapped. She turned sharply toward Mendeecees and Yandy. "That's funny," Erica said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Some people in here really love to perform when they think nobody's watching." Mendeecees raised an eyebrow, utterly confused. "What's that supposed to mean?" he asked, his voice low but firm. Erica smirked, tilting her head. "You know what it means," she snapped. "You and your picture-perfect wife need to stop acting like you're above the mess when half the time, you're stirring it." Yandy blinked, taken aback. "Erica, this ain't got nothing to do with us," she said, trying to keep her voice calm but feeling the tension rise. Mendeecees stepped in, raising his hands in a peace gesture. "We're not here for all that," he said. "This is supposed to be a clean slate." But Erica wasn't done. She stood up, her body trembling with anger. "A clean slate," she repeated, her voice growing louder. "Nah, you don't get to show up after everything and pretend like you're not part of the problem." The room fell into dead silence. All eyes were on her now, phones were out, and someone had hit record. Bambi and Spice watched, forgotten now in the wake of Erica's rage. As Erica paced, her voice became more venomous. "You want to play innocent?" she hissed. "I remember the things you said about me. It's the little comments, the side conversations you thought I didn't hear." Mendeecees shook his head. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said, clearly growing frustrated. But Erica wasn't listening. "Don't lie," she snapped. "You and your wife love to act like you're above it all, like you don't gossip, like you don't get messy behind people's backs." Yandy opened her mouth to speak, but Erica cut her off before she could say a word. "And you? You just stand there, letting him talk slick, smiling like you're not part of it." Yandy's calm facade cracked. "You've got some nerve," she said quietly, her voice trembling with anger. "If you've got a problem with me, say it. But don't drag my marriage into your mess." Erica laughed bitterly, her eyes cold. "Oh, it's a mess now," she scoffed. "I thought you were above the mess, Yandy. Isn't that what you always say? Always preaching about family and healing, but you pick and choose who gets your grace." Mendeecees stepped between them, trying to defuse the situation. "This is getting out of control," he said. "We need to chill out, for real." But Erica wasn't having it. "You think you can just play the peacekeeper and nobody's going to call you out? Nah, not this time." She took a step forward, her face inches from his. "Keep talking, slick, and I promise you I'll have you locked up." The words hit the room like a bomb. Time seemed to stop. Yandy's mouth opened, but no words came out. Mendeecees took a step back, stunned. What did you just say? He asked, his voice shaking. Erica crossed her arms, unfazed. You heard me, she said, her voice calm but carrying a dangerous edge. I'm tired of the games. Keep pushing me, and we'll see how fast things go left. The room was frozen. Bambi let out a low whistle. This just went to another level, she muttered, pulling her phone out like everyone else already had. Spice whispered something to the girl next to her, eyes wide. The producers, standing off to the side, weren't sure whether to cut the scene or let it play out. Mendeecees stood still, his jaw clenched. You're threatening to call the cops on me? For what? Erica shrugged, her voice icy. For whatever. I feel like. Maybe for getting too close. Maybe for trying to intimidate me. Maybe for thinking you could talk to me any kind of way just because you think you're the calm one in the room. Yandy stepped in, her voice sharp. Stop it, Erica. You're twisting everything. Nobody came at you. Nobody raised a hand. You started this. Erica turned on her, eyes blazing. I started this, she spat. Nah, y'all started it when. You made me feel like the crazy one, like I was always doing too much when really, I was just reacting to being pushed. Mendeecees took a deep breath, trying to regain some sense of control. Listen, he said, his voice low but steady. I don't want no problems. But you can't just go around threatening people like that. His words hung in the air, but Erica wasn't backing down. She stared at him, her gaze cold and hard, her body language giving nothing away. Erica smirked, but it wasn't a smile, it was the kind of smile that made you feel like you were on the edge of something dangerous. Watch me, she said. Her tone calm but laced with a quiet fury that sent a chill through the room. Next time, I won't just say it. I'll do it. The words hit like a punch to the gut. The entire room froze. There was no joking anymore, no light-hearted retreat banter. Everyone was caught in the storm of Erica's rage. Even the producers seemed unsure of whether they should intervene or let this play out. But it wasn't just drama anymore. This wasn't something that could be edited into a storyline for TV. This was real, raw, emotional, and deeply personal. Yandy stood in the middle of it all, her hands shaking. She wasn't yelling. She wasn't crying. But there was something in her eyes, a deep, soul-wrenching pain that had just been exposed. She had tried so hard to hold everything together, to keep the peace, to protect her family. But in that moment, the walls she had built came crashing down. She was trapped in the middle, unable to escape the emotional wreckage that was spiraling around her. Mendeecees, too, was in shock. He had thought he could keep things calm, that he could be the voice of reason. But Erica's words had shattered that illusion. Erica, he said, his voice tight, you've crossed a line. You can't just say things like that and expect everything to go back to normal. Erica's arms were still crossed, her posture defiant. I don't care, she said coldly. I'm done playing nice. I'm done pretending. You think I'm crazy, you think I'm the problem, well, guess what? I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not just going to let people walk all over me, not anymore. There was a pause, and for a brief moment, Mendeecees saw something shift in Erica. Beneath her defiance, there was pain. A deep, buried pain that she had been carrying for years. But instead of expressing it, she buried it under anger, under threats. Yandy's frustration boiled over, her voice trembling with the weight of it all. Stop it, Erica, she said, her words clipped. You're twisting everything. We didn't come at you, nobody did. You started this. You've been holding on to this anger for so long, and now you're taking it out on us. That's not how this works. That's not how relationships work. Erica shot her a look that could have frozen water. You think I'm angry? She scoffed. You think I'm angry at you? You've been playing this game for so long, pretending like everything's fine. But I'm not buying it anymore. And you want to know what? You've been hiding behind your perfect marriage for years. You've been pretending, just like everyone else. But I'm done pretending. Mendeecees shook his head, a look of disbelief on his face. Erica, nobody's perfect. We've all said things we regret. But this isn't the way to handle it. We're not the enemy here. Erica was done listening. Her eyes were wild now, her chest heaving with emotion. You and your wife, she spat, you think you're better than me. You think I don't see what's going on behind the scenes. I hear everything. All the little comments, all the side whispers. And you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being treated like I'm crazy. Yandy's voice softened, a mix of hurt and exhaustion creeping in. Erica, she said quietly, we've never judged you. We've tried to be there for you. But it's hard when you shut everyone out. We can't help you if you won't let us. Erica's lip curled into a bitter smile. You think you're the only ones who've tried? You think I haven't been trying too? I've been trying to survive in this world where everyone's got an opinion, where everyone wants to control the narrative. You think I don't know what's been said about me behind my back? Mendeecees took a step toward her, his voice calm but his fists clenched at his sides. You think we don't know the pressure you're under? He asked, his voice low but firm. We get it. We've all been through things. But this isn't how you handle it. This isn't how you fix things. But Erica wasn't listening anymore. You don't get it, she said, her voice rising again. You never will. You've always been the perfect couple, and I've been the one trying to keep it together on my own. And every time I tried to be real with you, I was met with judgment. I've had enough. Yandy stood her ground, her voice steady but filled with a quiet strength. I don't know what's going on in your head, Erica. But what I do know is that we can't keep going around in circles like this. If you want respect, you need to stop using threats to get it. But Erica wasn't done. You want to talk about respect? Fine. Let's talk about respect. Respect isn't just about what's said on the surface. It's about how you treat people. And you, she pointed directly at Mendeecees, her finger shaking with emotion, you've never treated me with respect. Not once. The words cut deep. Mendeecees stood there, stunned. He had never imagined it would go this far. He had never imagined that one heated moment would unravel everything. The cast, the cameras, the fans, they were all watching. And in that moment, Mendeecees realized that Erica's anger was rooted in something deeper than just this argument. This wasn't just about words. This was about years of pain, years of being silenced, years of trying to fit into a world that had never truly understood her. Yandy's face softened for a moment, her eyes meeting Mendeecees, but the warmth she tried to offer wasn't returned. Erica turned away, pacing the room again, her mind clearly racing. She wasn't ready to stop, not yet. Not when she finally felt like she had a voice. Not when she finally felt like the world was watching. You think this is the end of it? She shouted, not looking back. This is just the beginning. And I'm not backing down anymore. Mendeecees took a step forward, his body tense. Erica, please. Stop. This is getting out of control. But she was too far gone. She snapped back around, her eyes blazing. You think you can just smooth everything over with a few words? You can't fix this, Mendeecees. You can't fix what's already been broken. Not with words, not with actions. It's too late. Yandy stepped forward, her voice cutting through the tension. It's never too late. But you have to be willing to let it go. You have to be willing to stop holding on to all that anger. Because if you don't, it will destroy you. And it will destroy everyone around you. Erica's eyes flared with fury at Yandy's words. You think you have all the answers? You think you're the one to tell me how to handle my pain? Her voice cracked, the raw emotion finally spilling out. I've been through so much, Yandy. So much. And no one cared. No one noticed until I snapped. But now you want me to just be the calm, collected one? To play nice? The anger in Erica's voice slowly shifted to something more broken, more vulnerable. She took a shaky breath, her body slumping slightly. But before anyone could say anything, she turned and walked away, heading toward the door. The room was silent. The silence in the room felt oppressive, as though everything they had built had just crumbled into dust. Mendeecees stood there, his chest tight with a mixture of frustration and disbelief. Erica had stormed off, leaving a trail of emotional chaos behind her. He had never expected this. The argument had escalated far beyond a typical reality TV spat. The rawness in her words, the coldness in her tone, it wasn't just anger. It was years of pent-up frustration, bottled up and unleashed in a single moment. And now, there was nothing left to do but pick up the pieces. Yandy sat down on the edge of the couch, her body tense. She had been here before, trying to keep it all together, trying to be the glue that held everything in place. But this time felt different. The weight of the situation was too much, and the cracks in their relationship had finally widened to the point where she wasn't sure how to repair them anymore. The trust they had fought so hard to rebuild was slipping away, and she couldn't ignore it. Yandy, Mendeecees said softly, walking over to her. He knelt in front of her, his hand reaching out to touch her knee, but she pulled back, her gaze fixed on the floor. We have to talk. Please, just hear me out. She didn't look up. What is there to talk about, Mendeecees? She asked quietly. We've been talking for years. You've said everything you've needed to say. But I'm not sure it matters anymore. His heart sank as he listened to her words. Yandy had always been the strong one, the one who kept things together, who held their family together through thick and thin. But now, for the first time, she was the one who felt fractured. And he couldn't blame her. He had failed her. He had been so focused on redeeming himself, on repairing his image, that he had ignored the one person who mattered most. I never wanted to hurt you, Mendeecees said, his voice cracking. I swear to you, Yandy, I never wanted any of this. I've been so focused on making things right, on showing the world that I've changed. But I forgot that you, my family, you're the ones who need me. Not the cameras. Not the fans. But you. And I messed up. Yandy finally looked up at him, her eyes filled with unshed tears. I've been trying to hold everything together, she whispered. I've been trying to protect us, protect you. But I can't do this anymore. I can't keep pretending everything's fine when it's not. I've tried so hard to understand, to support you, but this, it's too much. It's always been too much. The weight of her words hit him like a punch to the gut. He had thought that everything would get better once he came out of prison, once he proved to everyone that he had changed. But change wasn't just about proving something to the world. It was about the people who loved you. It was about the people who stuck by you when you didn't deserve it. And he had failed them. Yandy stood up abruptly, pacing the room. You don't get it, Mendeecees. You never did. I've been here, supporting you, holding down the fort, dealing with everything that's come our way. But when it comes to me, when it comes to us, it's like I don't exist. You're so focused on your redemption arc that you don't even see me anymore. You don't even see what I'm going through. Mendeecees stepped forward, reaching out to her, but she backed away. Please, Yandy. Don't do this. I see you. I see everything. I've always seen you. No, you haven't. Yandy snapped, her voice rising. You've seen what you wanted to see. You've seen the version of me that fits into your story, the one that's always been there to clean up your mess. But you haven't seen the hurt I've been carrying. You haven't seen the way it feels to be constantly ignored, to be the one who's always trying to fix everything while you get all the attention. I'm tired of being the one who has to hold it all together. Her words struck a chord deep within him, and for a moment, Mendeecees was speechless. He had never realized how much she had been carrying, how much she had been silently enduring. He had been so focused on his own struggle that he hadn't noticed how much she was suffering. And that realization hit him hard. I'm sorry. He said again, his voice barely above a whisper. I've been so selfish. I've been so wrapped up in my own problems that I didn't see what you were going through. I failed you. And I'm so sorry for that. Yandy took a deep breath, her eyes softening as she looked at him. Sorry isn't enough anymore, she said quietly. Sorry doesn't fix the years of neglect, the years of me trying to be strong for both of us while you were focused on your redemption. I've given so much of myself, Mendeecees. And I don't know if I have anything left to give. The weight of her words crushed him. He had been so focused on fixing his past that he hadn't realized he was breaking her in the process. He had wanted to be the man she needed, but he hadn't even been the man she deserved. I'm trying, he said, his voice shaking. I'm really trying. But I can't fix this on my own, Yandy. I need you. I need us. Yandy's gaze softened. For a moment, but the pain was still there, lingering in her eyes. I don't know if we can fix this, she whispered. I don't know if we can ever go back to the way we were. The uncertainty in her voice hit him like a wave. He had spent so long fighting for a second chance, fighting for his redemption, but now, he was fighting to save his family, his marriage. And it felt like he was losing that battle. I can't promise everything will be perfect, Mendeecees said, his voice breaking. But I'm not giving up on us. I can't. Not when I've already lost so much. You're the reason. I'm trying. You're the reason I'm fighting. Yandy looked at him, her face torn. The hurt was still there, but so was the love. She had always loved him, always stood by him. But was it enough to fix what had been broken? Was it enough to rebuild a family after everything they had been through? Before she could respond, the door to the room opened, and Erica stepped inside. She had clearly been listening, her face a mask of emotion. The tension in the room thickened, and for a moment, no one spoke. Erica looked at Mendeecees, her eyes tired and conflicted. I didn't come here to make things worse, she said quietly. I just want to be heard. I want people to understand why I'm like this. Why I've been angry. And I didn't want to hurt you. But I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm sorry for how it came out. I didn't mean to threaten you, but I was pushed. I was pushed to the edge. Mendeecees looked at Erica, his face softening. He understood, in a way. He had been there too, pushed to the edge, broken by everything that had happened in the past. But what came next? How could they all move forward from this? I understand, he said, his voice calm but full of emotion. I understand more than you think. But I also know that what we've been doing isn't working. The fighting, the anger, the threats, it's not going to fix anything. We have to find a way to move forward, to heal. But we can't do it like this. Not with all this pain and resentment between us. Erica nodded slowly, her eyes filled with something that resembled regret, but she wasn't ready to apologize. Not yet. I don't know what comes next, she whispered. But I'm done pretending I'm someone I'm not. Mendeecees looked at her, and for a moment, he saw the woman who had once been part of his life, who had once shared so much with him. The anger was still there, but beneath it, there was a deep sadness, a longing for something more. Yandy, who had been quietly observing the exchange, finally spoke. We can't keep going in circles. We need to be honest with ourselves. All of us. And in that moment, the truth hit them all. Honesty was the only way forward. But would it be enough?